Let's talk Galaxy S25 Plus for a few moments, shall we? Because despite my misgivings with the Galaxy S25 Ultra, I do believe there is a significant portion of people who will be best served by a Galaxy S25 Plus. It has nothing to do with whether I think this is a better phone than the OnePlus 13, because I don't. But I understand at the same time that there are reasons why people will either want to stick with Samsung or pick up a Galaxy, especially if they're used to dealing in their carrier stores. OnePlus just isn't there. You can't walk in to your AT&T store and say, hey, I like that OnePlus 13, let me get that for $30 a month. There's also a significant portion of people, because you can't just go into your carrier store as well and say, hey, you know what? You got any Galaxy S23 Ultras lying around in the back? How about letting one of those go for $2 or $3 a month? How about, you can't do that. So there are people who aren't going to pick up a renewed device. There are people who don't want to outlay the entire amount for their phone at once. So there's enough people just fine with the regular carrier upgrade cycle that are going to be looking at the Galaxy S25 Plus, and it will most likely be the best decision for them. And to be fair, all things considered, I do believe that the software on the Galaxy S25 series and One UI 7 still is better than Oxygen OS 15. Now, this device has plenty of other advantages that I think make it the better device overall, but there's plenty of reasons why people would want to pick up a Galaxy. So let's talk about, I'll bring the camera around here, and let's go over this phone and see what it has to offer you in 2025. All right, let's take a look at the Samsung Galaxy S25 Plus, because of all those things I talked about at the top of the video, there are legitimate reasons why people would choose this particular phone, especially over a OnePlus or a Pixel. There are just reasons why people are still going to get a Samsung Galaxy device in 2025, brand new, even though I have disappointments with the company itself over what it provided. Now, the reason why you'd pick up the Plus, especially this year, it's always a conversation between the Plus and the Ultra, whether you should pocket that money and pick up the Plus instead of spending the $300 more to pick up the Ultra, to pick up the 50 megapixel ultra wide, and to pick up the S Pen and a slightly larger battery and the larger screen. I think that conversation, while it's always a consideration every single year, to me this year it's a no-brainer. If you're somebody that doesn't need the nerfed S Pen, if you're somebody that doesn't need that extra size, this is a much better feeling device in the hand. It's a thinner device. It's a lighter device. It still has a big, gorgeous display. I think this is a better choice for most people than the Ultra this year, especially when you factor in the price and saving money on this. I just like the 7.6 inch, 6.7 inch display. I just think I was annoyed when iPhone Pro Max went to the larger display this year. I was annoyed when Samsung went to the 6.8 inch panel and now the 6.9 inch panel, even though it's in the same footprint. 6.7 inches to me is really the sweet spot for these smartphones. I got big mitts, okay? I don't have small hands. And this is a really nice phone to hold in the hand, especially when you pair it with that 7.3 millimeter thickness. This is the best feeling phone in the hand since the Galaxy S10 Plus, and that's a phone that a lot of Samsung fans, myself included, look back on fondly. So you're going to get a lot of that here in the S25 Plus. Let's talk about the display. Gorgeous display. Fantastic display. Really love it. Love that Samsung kind of reversed that trend that they were going towards with the more natural tones. I understand some people need it. Hurts their eyes, gives them a headache, need the more natural tones for work, realistic looking images, whatever, that's fine. Give the option, right? You can go back to the natural tones if you want. But for those of us who want the neon, cartoony colors, go ahead and give us that vividness slider, because I certainly take advantage of it and crank this baby all the way up. And it is a gorgeous looking display, just a really nice package overall. Power. Everything you're going to want. Snapdragon 8 Elite is, again, this is not on Samsung, but the Snapdragon 8 Elite is phenomenal. Every device I've used it in. OnePlus 13, here, the Ultra, no problems whatsoever. AAA gaming, high settings, fantastic. Some people have been complaining about overheating. I really haven't had that. I have not had the overheating that some users have experienced. So we'll keep an eye on that. But overall, I've been really pleased with the performance there, and also the power efficiency. Was not expecting that. 4,900 milliamp hour battery. Usually with a higher end flagship Snapdragon, you're eating through that. Like, you can get through that in a day if you really try. Really not had that problem here on the Galaxy S25 Plus. Now, again, there's a little asterisk there. Am I disappointed there's no silicon carbide battery in here? Am I disappointed it's not a bigger battery cell like the OnePlus 13? Am I disappointed it's not a dual cell with faster charging? Yes, all of those things. But understand, there's still going to be reasons why people pick this phone up as opposed to an older device or OnePlus, whether it's carrier things, whether it's software, all those things factor in here, and you really do have to take it all into account when you talk about this. So understand that even though I'm saying nice things about this phone, I don't necessarily endorse this phone over the OnePlus 13. I don't necessarily give Samsung a pass for the things I feel should have been in this phone for $1,000, specifically the 50 megapixel ultra wide. That's a joke to me that was held back just for the ultra, just for people spending $300 more. Should have been in this device for $1,000, but this is still going to be the best choice for a lot of people. Let's talk about the software, because that's where we're at. One UI 7 grew on me. At first, I was a bit thrown off by the aesthetics. I like the vertical app drawer. I like a lot of the changes. I was able to change the stuff back that I didn't like being able to, like the notification shade being separate from the quick settings. You could put those back together, but that's personal preference, right? There's a lot of things running well here in One UI 7, and it has been nothing but silky smooth. And you're going to get that 7 years of software support. You're going to get those updates. You're going to get Galaxy AI, hopefully for a while, right? 12 gigs of RAM. So we'll see what agentic AI solutions in 2 years' time, 3 years' time, make it down to something like the S25 Plus. But Samsung doesn't care at that point. You're going back into your carrier store and getting another one. So 12 gigs of RAM is going to do you just fine as far as Samsung is concerned. AI stuff. You know what? I haven't checked it today. This is a unit I've been using for 2 weeks. Let's go ahead and go into Now Brief and see what's going on here. Snow and stay up to date with Now Brief. This is after 2.5 weeks, almost 3 weeks. This is what Now Brief looks like. Nothing. Just a lot of work to be done there. Would love for some of it to feel at least somewhat generative, because that to me is a joke. Now Bar, same thing, right? Like, I like Now Bar. Like, the Knicks game started last night. I was getting updates for their first half. It was fantastic. Went away. You would think the game was over. I was still getting updates on my LG G6 that I got from eBay, because we're going to do another video on that. I was getting like the Google Now whatever updates because I followed it through Google to get the Now Bar to work. I was still getting updates over there. I knew when the game, I knew that the Knicks got trounced by the Celtics from there before I knew it on here with the team followed on the Now Bar. There's promise for the Now Bar. The APIs going out to developers should be fine. Hopefully there's a lot of usefulness that's brought to the Now Bar. I like Google Maps on it. I like controlling my Spotify and my music on it. That's all fine, but just understand that it's not there. You're not buying this phone for the front end, like cross-app integration stuff and whatever. You can do all this stuff on a Pixel and a OnePlus 13. And whatever Google develops, you're going to get on your Pixel. The AI you buy this for is the photo stuff, does help improve the 50 megapixel sensor. Do like the photos, like the color science a little bit better. We'll throw up some shots. I like the color science from the S25 and Galaxy this year a little bit better. So that's something to consider. Again, really disappointed that we don't get the new ultra wide. You do notice there's a significant downgrade in quality. The colors get soft, the images get noisy. You will notice something, especially in less than ideal lighting. You'll notice those older camera sensors really start to rear their heads. That's something that's really disappointing. But what you'll notice is the AI stuff that's actually useful on this phone is the photo editing, magic editor type stuff after the fact. Really good this year. Rips out people, artifacts, everything else. It's really good at getting an image looking relatively normal. But a lot of people don't like that. In fact, a lot of people are creeped out by that. But anyway, if you're somebody who edits photos with AI, the Galaxy S25 does a pretty good job of that. The video stuff is impressive as well. Being able to pull out different elements of audio and stuff like that, it's great. The example that I always use is if I'm a parent, which I am, and I'm capturing a first moment with a child, something happens outside, there's a loud parent next to me, it's a concert, something like that, I can isolate the different audios that I need to make sure that that moment is not ruined. So those are all really interesting things. So AI, mixed bag for sure. Camera system, mixed bag for sure. Software, One UI 7, if you separate those, I wish Samsung, people would have looked on this device a lot more favorably, I think, and been a little less frustrated, especially at the $1,000 price point of the S25 Plus. If Samsung had just focused on the software, One UI 7, like make the AI a nice little window dressing on the software that you already had going on here. But AI as a headlining feature to buy a phone on the S25 Plus is just not there right now. It's just not there right now. You buy this phone because you want a light, thin, powerful phone with a good build for your $30 a month. You're coming from your S21, you're coming from your S22, you're just a Samsung Galaxy fan, you walk into your carrier store and what do you see? You see mid-range Motorola's maybe, you see your Pixels, and you see iPhones. That's it. That's really all you're looking at. Now, if you're somebody that's a gamer, that needs the extra power, if you're big on multitasking, you're not looking at a Pixel. iPhone you're not buying because you're an Android fan, and you're not getting a mid-range Motorola. So that leaves you with this guy here. And Samsung understands that. Samsung knows that. That's why competition is important, because if you were to put this guy next to this phone at $1,000, we'd be having a much different conversation right now. And those things that I mentioned at the top of the video as reasons why people will wind up buying this phone in the millions, they go away a little bit. And then we focus on why this phone is a much better choice for most people. But that's not the case here in America. This is what you got. Not a bad phone. Samsung knows that. They're not going to produce junk. This is a perfectly good phone. $30 a month, Samsung fan, you're happy. But again, I don't give Samsung a pat on the head because I know it's capable of much more. If you've made it this far, like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Until next time, have that Steve-licious day.